Hello and welcome back. I'm Joseph Hoffman, and in this lesson, we're going to learn the right-hand part for the B section of Etude in C by Albert Biehl. Let's get started by checking out the score. So today we're looking at measure 9, which is the start of our B section all the way to the end, which we can always recognize with these double bar lines. Now sometimes when I'm learning a new piece, I like to find the trickiest part and learn that first, because then the rest feels really easy, and I like to sometimes get that hardest part mastered first. So looking at the right hand part, which is what we're learning today, I notice that these are mostly 2-note, sometimes a 1-note chord, until we get to these last 2 chords. We have a 3-note chord, another 3-note chord. So this is going to be the trickiest part for the right hand. So let's actually learn this first. What intervals do you see in this chord? At the bottom here, we've got 2 notes just a step apart, F and G, so that forms a second. And then what interval do we have on top? We've got a G to a B, which forms a third. So a second plus a third all together in a 3-note chord, played with fingers 1, 2, 4. Then what intervals do we have in this chord? Can you tell me the harmonic interval we have on the bottom? If you said a third, you're correct. We have a third on the bottom of this chord. And then what about these top 2 notes? G to C. If you said the interval of a fourth, you're correct. So it's an interesting chord, right? We have a third on the bottom, a fourth on the top, played with fingers 1, 2, and 5. Let's check out how to do that on the piano. All right, so let's try this last chord in measure 16. We're going to use fingers 1 and 2 to play this bottom third. The reason we want to use 1 and 2 is because then our finger 5 can easily reach this top C for this fourth. So a third plus a fourth with fingers 1, 2, 5. Try to play that chord on your piano. We'll hold that for 3 beats, and then we end with a quarter rest. Okay, try it one more time. Try to get used to that feel in your hands. The fingering is very important. Make sure you're using a 2 on this middle note. That will help make it easier to transition from this chord in measure 15, which let's try that now. Fingers 1, 2, and 4 on F, G, and B. Try that on your piano. And then all you're going to do, leave finger 2 anchored on G, because you still need a G in the next chord, but your thumb, finger 1, is going to just scoot down 1 note for this last chord. The only finger that needs to move is your finger 1. So try this chord, pick up your thumb, scoot it down, and then you're ready for the final chord. Pause the video, and I'd like you to practice just going from this chord to this chord about 5, 6, maybe 10 times until it feels really comfortable getting between those 2 chords. Practice that on your own, then press play to go on. Now let's back up to measure 13. We have a G and a D going to G and C. So let's try that on your piano. Can you play this with me? We'll hold for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then our hand needs to scoot down to be able to play this. So we'll just take all our fingers, go down a step for this chord, and now only our finger 1 has to move to get to this very last chord. Okay? Pause the video and work on measures 13 through the end, then press play to go on. Now I'd like to remind you about our advanced fingering technique that allows you to play chords legato. The trick is, if one of the notes repeats and another 1 or more notes do not repeat, what you can do is lift the note that repeats early, hold the other one, and then when you go to the next chord, it allows for a legato sound. So notice when I go from this chord to the next chord, if I lift both my fingers, it breaks the sound. But if I just lift my thumb, hold down my finger 5, then I can, in a more legato way. Try this with me. Hold 1, 2, 3 on beat 4, lift finger 1, and then smoothly go on to the next chord. Now, to go to the next chord, you do have to lift both. So we are going to have to break there. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about that because we've got to move both 1 and 4 down to get to this chord. But then you can lift these 2 fingers because both 1 and 2, 1 needs to readjust, 2 needs to repeat. So you're going to have to lift 1 and 2, hold down finger 4 until you're ready to play that final chord. Lift 1 and 2, hold down 4, and that allows for a legato sound there. Pause if you'd like to work on that advanced technique, but it's optional. This advanced technique is, well, like I said, it's advanced, and so if you want to skip it, that would be fine. If you want to challenge yourself to get that legato sound between the chords, pause to work on that for a little bit. Otherwise, let's go on and look at measures 9 through 12. Now, can you show me the first 2 notes to play in measure 9? Play them on your piano. If you're playing these 2 notes, you're correct. Now I'd like to challenge you to pause the video and learn measures 9 through 12, this entire first line, on your own, without my help. Pause to learn that on your own, and then press play and we'll check it out together. So you should have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how I was doing that legato technique on these last 2 chords. 3 on beat 4, I can lift my finger 1 but hold my 4 to go on there. Let's try playing it together now. Start in measure 9 and try playing with me. Count the beat out loud and let's play these chords. Notice we had a third, then just a single note, then a fourth, then back to a third. Here we go. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here's another place where we're going to have to break the legato because we have to lift both fingers to be able to move our hand down into position for measure 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here's another place we have to break legato, move our hand down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can hold my finger 4 to legato into the last chord. Now, on your own this week, practice those right hand notes. And when you feel really confident with the right hand, you'll be ready for the next lesson, which will bring in the left hand part. Great work learning the right hand part for the B section of Etude in C by Biehl. Thanks for watching and learning with me, and happy practicing. Hey, Princess. Since we learned the B section today, how would you like to hear a B joke?
Of course! But before you tell the joke, do you mean a bee joke as in the letter B, or as in a buzzy, fuzzy bumblebee?
I believe it's the buzzy, fuzzy kind.
Ah, very good. You can begin the joke.
All right. Well, it's more of a story, really. You see, I went to buy some bees from the beekeeper. I told him I wanted 12 bees. He counted them out and handed me 13 bees. I said, "Sir, you gave me 13. He replied, "That's a freebie."
Freebie. Good one.
Thanks.